From General Santos City, the Borella family.
Good evening po. I'm Rafi Borella. We're the Borella family from General Santos City. I'm the eldest daughter of 6 daughters there at the back. And so my Mama Jinky and Papa Arnold. So basically, we're from Jensen, but our community, we serve Sarangani. So our advocacy focuses on providing whatever assistance we could provide to children in our church community, and also those children in communities in hard-to-reach rural areas, so as to encourage them to continue with their studies. Kasi we know that it's very difficult for children in far-flung areas to focus on their studies when they have problems with other matters. And then, so right now, we conduct catechism for our church community for less privileged kids in our community every Sunday. We also organize feeding activities and outreach programs in schools in Sarangani with the help of friends and private institutions. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Now, we have the special citation winner for persons with disabilities. The Akula family from Taguig.
Good evening po to everybody. And jolly good evening to everyone. So ako po si Lorena Acola, representing po ang Acola family. And ako po ay ipinanganak na may visual impairment since maliit po ako, ay low vision po ako, and then I am the youngest of 6 children also. And we're working for and with the visually impaired. Actually, because I am blind in the family. I started together with my family. I started the project. I called it Future Vision Sighted Blind Inc. I was propelled to start this project because of the difficulty that I experienced during my school days, wherein I had a difficulty going to school, and aside from the fact that we belong to a not rich family, so the difficulty was doubled because during the time there was also not the presence of a SPED teacher. I really had a difficulty in studying, and even so I was fortunate to finish college because of the help of my family and also some organizations. And really, I told myself that with this, I will start a project for them so that they will not be able to experience the difficulty I had when I was young. So right now, we started the project 2014. It's now running for 3 years now, and from the project started, we already have 32 blind, visually impaired children and adults, and we are working so that these children, especially those children, will be included in the regular school. So right now, some of the blind are staying with us. I separate with them, so they allowed me to rent like a small house for us so that I can house some of my blind visually impaired children so that I can teach them and I prepare them for regular school. And right now they are going with me in school. So I am also working as a public school teacher in a small elementary school near us. So every day we go to school together. So that is my project, and we are working and for all the blind and visually impaired in Taguig. I'm hoping to reach them so that me and my family can help them as well. So thank you very much po for the Jolly family for choosing us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we have the special citation winner for education from Negros Oriental, the Caballero family.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dennis Caballero. Together with me is my wife and 2 kids. We are the Caballero family. Special citation for education. It feels so warm tonight to be with you, na kasama yung mga, syempre kasama sa mga gawain ganito, especially sa mga families. Yung projects and advocacy namin is to give trainings and workshops sa mga kabataan, not only in Negros Oriental, even up to Mindanao, for free. We call our organization Gaban Youth Lead, and it's just so proper na to be somewhat recognized, maraming salamat sa Jollibee, because it's our 10th year this year. Thank you so much. At first, since I had a lot of background, kami ni wife ko si Janice into volunteerism and doing leadership trainings and team building activities. We started that way first. But when we went to the communities, we realized po na parang unmatched need po siya. Hindi maintindihan ng mga kabataang out-of-school youth at yung mga parking boys, yung mga ginagawa namin kasi hindi naman nila kailangan yun. So eventually, after 2 to 3 years, dumami yung volunteers namin, na-realize namin yun. So we converted those very simple leadership trainings and team building activities to make it as a values formation po. So hanggang naging meron na rin for self-worth, hanggang tungkol na rin sa career development and all a lot of things. And for 10 years, ang dami naming linkages, and I'm proud to say na kahit wala kaming mga funding or grant, talagang more than enough po yung blessings na binigay ni Lord para to sustain the projects. In fact, we started a little of like 30 to 50 for participants. Now we go as high as 6,000 for an event, or for one event, for regional level, together with, like for example, Department of Education or the Philippine Army. We even did a project in Mindanao for several years now, na every year na we trained even mga anak ng mga MILF po, and even mga anak ng NPAs doon sa amin at across the different islands po doon. And it's really, we even tell ourselves always na they have inspired us more than we have inspired them. And that's what keeps us going. And now having you together, being together here, is also more inspiring because we know that you will be together in everything, our projects, for this inspiration. Our tagline is, you are blessed, be a blessing. You are blessed, be a blessing. And indeed, all of us is a blessing to each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dennis, and congratulations on your 10th anniversary. And again, thank you so much everyone for sharing your inspiring work. Once again, please join me in giving a hand to the special citation winners. Now, it's time to know this year's batch of JFBA winners. Like earlier, when your family is called, may I ask one representative to come up here on stage and share with everyone your inspiring advocacy work. So, First, we have the Dixon family from Abra.
A jolly evening to each and every one of us here. I'm proud to present our family, the Dixon family. We come from the province of Abra. Let me first introduce my dad. Please stand to be recognized. He is Dr. Ramon Dixon, a physician and anesthesiologist, formerly practiced at FEU but left his lucrative practice to serve in our province, Abra. He currently practices both at Abra and Vigan and has continued to practice charity work, serving as volunteer anesthesiologist since 2001 to 2015 every Friday. He's not getting any PF for those. Then my mom, Dr. Maria Audita Fernandez Dixon, a dentist. She's also a member of the board of directors in Red Cross in our region. And then my sister, Miss Ramary Fernandez Dixon, currently a dentist and a professor at CEU who works hand in hand with my mom in our medical dental mission. Furthermore, I forgot to add that my dad also aided in the legislation of the Anti-Rabies Act and Blood Act in our province and the first ever expanded newborn screening act. And as you can see, all our works point out to our main advocacy, which is health. To say that it is our dream to have an equitable and sustainable health for every Filipinos is an understatement. Let me borrow what John Barker said. Vision without action is just a dream. Action without vision just passes time. But vision with action, you can change the world. This is what we live by. So as a family, we want to serve our province, Abra, being underserved with a ratio of 1:33,000 patients. That's the ratio that we're facing right now. And more than that, I remember way back 1993, I was still a small kid. My mom and my dad started our foundation, the Abot Kamay Foundation, and I was asking them, how do you come up with that name? My mom talked to me on the side, said to me, son, as you grow up, you'll realize the purpose of your two hands. One hand to help yourself, and one hand to reach out and help others. And that's what stuck in my mind. These were the very lessons which led to me and my sister taking up the specialties of our parents and to plan to continue the legacy that they have already started. Service is a small amount to pay for our rent here on earth. It's not something that we do just on our spare time. It's something that we are committed. It's something that we are passionate about. Our legacy in the province of Abra is to make a sustainable and equitable health for all Abreños. How? First, we do medical and dental missions. But aside from that, we are not able to spoon-fed them every time. So we need to teach them. We provide them with sphygmomanometers, necessary medical health equipment such as nebulizers, to make them independent, to know what are the necessary warning signs which will enable them to be empowered and to have control of their own health. Because after all, when we leave this world, or while we're living, we'll only have three things. We only have God, we only have our family, and we only have our health. And as Dixon family, it is our pleasure to serve each and every Filipinos to the best possible way that we can. That is our advocacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations. Next, please welcome from Pasay City, the Felix family.
So, good evening po sa inyo lahat. I'm Hannah Felix, the youngest daughter of the Felix family. So, I'd like to introduce first my dad. Like parang stand up pa for recognition. This is my dad, Simeon Z. Felix Jr. Colonel siya sa Philippine Air Force and he's currently assigned in Mactan, Cebu. And mom ko naman, she's an optometrist. And my sister naman, 4th year optometrist just sa CEU, studying. And me naman, I'm a senior high school grade 11 student in multimedia arts, filmmaking. So, yung advocacy namin, well, before the advocacy comes the philosophy that we hold on to in everything that we do, which is doing things right for the glory of God and the service of the Filipino people. So, like, philosophy namin doesn't just directly apply to our services, it also applies to whatever we do, which is kami tipa, we study, that's like Dad go when he leads his people, tapos si Mama naman when she does her work. So, yung advocacy namin is called 2020 Vision. It's cool. Kasi, like, parang 2020, it's like perfect vision, diba? Tapos, yung what we do is parang, yung mga, kung saan na-assign si Papa, like, parang, we set up eye missions where we give them free eye checkups, then, we give them free classes, like, parang, everything is free of charge. And, yung holding on to the philosophy, we realize na, like, when we give people our best, we don't just give them what they need, like, parang the excellent service that we strive our best to do, we do that parang as a platform of influence na rin. So, they can see na when you have a philosophy that you hold on to, doing things right for the glory of God and the service of the Filipino people, like parang mapapakita mo siya to other people, like shine a light to them so they know how to work, what to do, and stuff. So parang here, I'm inspired to see you guys kasi like parang like ang cool kasi everyone with different advocacies like health, education, everyone that I've met, like environment, PWDs, sobrang inspiring to see na doing things right for the glory of God and service of the Filipino people doesn't just apply to a specific strand of what people need in life. It's parang it unites us to help other people because that's what God called us to do in this earth, like Kuya said. So, for the Felix family, we have that 2020 vision and thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Our next awardee is also a special citation winner for the environment. From Taguig, the Mati family.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Mylene Mati, and I'm representing here my husband James and our foster son Ron. When I was 18, I read the Bible for the very first time in my life. I came from a very religious school, but I'll be very honest, I never really read the Bible ever. Of course, I know the book. And then through the years of reading it, I was really caught by the story wherein the Lord Jesus Christ, after he actually died and resurrected, but before he ascended into heaven, he asked the Apostle Peter, "Do you love me?" He asked it 3 times. "Do you love me?" And so the Apostle said, "I do, Lord. Why do you ask?" And he said, "If you love me, feed my lambs. If you love me, tend my sheep. If you love me, tend my sheep." So he said it 3 times. And then in another part of the Bible, the book of James, who is also one of the apostles of the Lord Jesus Christ, he said, "Faith without good works is dead." And so with that, I learned that if we really love God, we have to do something for Him. Not just for our daily sustenance, but also something bigger than ourselves. So me and my husband didn't really know what we were going to do, but we just prayed, like, "Lord, use us for something in this life. More than our jobs." I'm a medical doctor. I'm also a practicing anesthesiologist for the last 20 years. My husband is in business. But we wanted to do something that's outside of our comfort zone and outside of our medical and business profession per se. And then we read that the Philippines was in the top 10 most vulnerable countries to climate change. And then the UN Development Report said that the poorest of the poor in developing countries are farmers and fishermen. Farmers and fishermen. This really hit me hard as a doctor because how can we preach wellness when people cannot eat properly? We are what we eat. And you know, with this world of pollution and pesticides and chemical fertilizers and food shortage, overpopulation affecting food security very, very soon, they say that the population will double by the year 2050. So we ask ourselves, what is it that we can do to help? And talking too loudly about the green movement and the plight of farmers, and we wanted to start a livelihood program. Di namin talaga alam kung ano talaga dapat namin gawin. But all of these thoughts kept coming to us. And too much talking 8.5 years ago led to a donation of 107 hectares of land to us at the foothills of the longest mountain range in the Philippines, which is in the Sierra Madre in San Miguel, Bulacan. And when we got there, we were surprised and saddened that the main livelihood of the people who were illegally settling on the donated land are actually illegal loggers and charcoal makers. They were destroying the environment. And a lot of them were only earning 50 pesos a day. 50 to 100 pesos a day. So we realized that this is something we can be involved in. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So we incorporated the land that was donated to a foundation so that we can raise more money and build this 107 hectares with a vision of building a master planned eco-farming community with future allocated areas for schools, parks, marketplaces, community centers, all for the poorest of the poor who want to abandon illegal logging and migrate and embrace the organic agricultural way of life. We wanted them to have a place where they can be no longer destructive but constructive and be in a sustainable mode. So after 8.5 years, grateful that God had allowed this project to fly. We have Green Earth Heritage Foundation as our advocacy with this 107 hectares of donated land. And thank God we've planted more than 30,000 trees. A lot of them have been destroyed. These are just the ones that are alive. We have international organic certification from EcoCert France. No pesticides, no chemical fertilizers. And our flagship product is internationally certified organic moringa tea and moringa powder that is now selling in 21 stores. We also have educational initiatives because we couldn't turn a blind eye to the plight of our farmers' kids who have to walk 3 hours a day to go to the nearest public school, cross a bridgeless river and unpaved roads, and this is just in San Miguel, Bulacan. This is not even in the hinterlands of Mindanao. And that really surprised and saddened us, that even in this day and age, children have to walk that long just to go to the nearest public school. So we started with an English literacy program, computer literacy, volunteer run. Then eventually we built a small learning center, 150 square meters. And then with that, we got people, farmers' children coming. And our family became a family because one of the farmers' children who was walking 4 hours round trip just to attend our English literacy class, a farmer of there are 9 boys. You know, his father's a farmer. I found him very diligent, and I said, wow, what are we going to do? I mean, this kid just keeps on walking this long just to come, and others are just around. Long story short, competed him for the International School Manila Scholarship. The tuition there is $25,000 a year, and one of our farmers' children became the first farmer's child to win the International School Manila in 92 years. Fast forward 5 years, is going to Harvard University. And this is our foster son, Ron Blanco, who joined our family 6.5 years ago. So we signed a foster parenting agreement because it was my crazy idea to compete him for this contest. So we prepared him, and again, my crazy idea to compete him for scholarships in the United States. Because we told him, you know, there's a verse in the Bible, to whom much is given, much is required. You need to honor God, honor your donors, all the people helping us, and if God will give it to you, He will. If it's not, it's fine. You know, it will make you a better person to compete. But God blessed the desire of our hearts. So this year is a year of ministry trophy. After 8.5 years, we have a farmer's child going to Harvard. We have 31 scholars. And this Jollibee Family Values Award is an answered prayer for us because with the success of ROM, we're scaling up our educational initiatives. We started our own homeschool program 3 years ago with an American homeschool curriculum in the middle of nowhere, reforestation site and an organic farm. And we're praying to be able to build a science lab and an educational playhouse. So every peso of the Jollibee Family Awards is going to the farmers' children of Green Earth Heritage Foundation. We hope you can come visit us. We're so inspired and touched and blessed by all the people that we've spoken to even in the last few hours from this afternoon and tonight. Thank you for this community that we have come to know, and we pray that our paths will cross in many ways so that we can do things for our country together, even if nobody knows what's going on in our necks of the woods. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Patty. So here we are, halfway through the evening, and I must say on a personal note, my inspiration tank is already overflowing. So thank you very much for that, all of the panelists. But before we proceed to the rest of the program, before we introduce the second batch of JFBA winners, we invited someone to serenade you tonight. Yes, singer, stage and movie actress. She recently won in the 29th Awit Awards for Best R&B Recording Artist and Best Performance by a Female Recording Artist. Please welcome Mix VJ, Tutti Dos Santos.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Tutti Dos Santos. Sorry, excuse me, sir. I will be singing a few inspirational songs for all of you tonight, so I hope you enjoy them. And if you do know them, you can sing along with me too.
Para sa Teachers Day. Para sa
far-off place where a hero's welcome will be waiting for me, and the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right road may wander, it will lead me to you, and 1,000 years will be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I will go the distance. I will stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance, and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part. For a hero's strength is measured by his heart. His heart. again, my name is Tutti Santos, and I'd just like to thank Jollibee for having me here today for the 7th Family Values Awards. And I think that song is so appropriate for tonight because, you know, you don't have to put on a cape to be a superhero. There are simple things we all can do to make a difference in another another person's life. So, congratulations to all the families who are here. I know, yes. A big round of applause for everyone. In the world we're living in today, you know, there's so much sadness. There's so many bad things going on. But if each and every one of us becomes a hero in another person's life, I think it's gonna be a better world. And I wish that there are things we all can do. Like my family, we're a World Vision advocates, and there's some simple things. In a month, you spend 600 of your money that you can give to somebody else, and it will just make the Philippines a better place, or in turn make the world better. So this is Better World, just encouraging everyone to create those little steps in your days to make a difference. So I hope you like this song as well. Ayan, we can sway and just enjoy this song. Thank you.
I dream that one day our voices will somehow fill the earth with joy forever. I dream that someday our wishes will somehow soon come true and last forever. I dream that one day our songs in some way will bring a bright tomorrow, full of love, full of hope, full of joy. People in the back know it. I see this one day when all the world will hear us. That someday when all will stand before us, singing one song together everywhere, singing, we are gonna love you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. We will always let you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. I dream that one day our voices will somehow fill the earth with joy forever. I dream that someday our wishes will somehow soon come true and last forever. I dream that someday our songs in some way will bring a bright tomorrow, full of love, full of hope, full of joy. I see there's one day when all the world will hear us. That someday when all will stand before us, singing one song together everywhere, singing, we are gonna love you, people of, yes, thank you, make you a better world. We will always let you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. We are gonna love you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. Thank you. We are gonna love you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. We will always respect you, people of the world. We are gonna make you a better world. A better world.
Yes! Thank you for singing with me, for jamming with me. This last song, yes, after we become heroes and make the world a better place, we are gonna light this world up like fireworks. I'm okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last song. Congratulations once again to all the awardees, and thank you for having me with you tonight. I hope, in the years to come, it's just gonna be even bigger events like this because it's time that we all do something. So, this is Fireworks by Katy Perry. Thank you for singing with me. I know you can sing with me right here.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind on the side of the head? Do you ever feel already buried?
I'm gonna do my rounds again.
So no one can hear a thing. Do you know that there's a chance
I know you know this, guys.
starting? You just gotta
Light the light and let it shine.
just on the night. Everybody, like the 4th of July.
Baby, you're a firework.
Come and show me what you're worth. Make them go as you shoot across the sky.
Baby, you're a firework.
Make them go. You're gonna leave them on the run. You don't have to feel like always exposed. You're professional. Cannot be replaced if you only knew that the future holds after the hurt. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed, so you can open one that leads you to the perfect home. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will know it's time. You just gotta hide the light.
I can't hear you.
Just on the night, like the 4th of July. Baby, come and show me what you're worth. Make them go, as you shoot across the sky. You know the song? Baby, these birds, make them go. You're gonna leave them on. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon. It's always been inside of you, and now it's time to let it through. Baby, you're a firework. Come and show me what you're worth. Make them go as you shoot across the baby, you're worth. Come on, get your colors burst. Make them go. Thank you, sweet. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations once again. I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Tippy. Thank you for that rousing performance. Now, does everybody need a few seconds to catch their breath? Now, let's move on to introducing the second batch of JFBA winners. Again, when your family is called, may I ask one representative to come up here on stage and share with us your advocacy. First up, please welcome the Makalintal family from Oriental Mindoro.
Pilipino ako, aking Pilipinas, sa tibay ng bibig mo, ako'y pamilip. Pilipino ako, mahal ko ang Pilipinas, sa ganda ng bibig mo, ako'y pamilip.
So we are the Macalintal family from Oriental Mindoro. But before I begin, let me first introduce my family. So I have my mom, Rina, an elementary school teacher. I have my tatay, a secondary school teacher. And my brother, Josh Pipers, a grade 11 student. Hannah Vianney, grade 10 student. And my name is Hannah Angelica, a senior high school teacher as well. So I was inspired by my parents, so I took up education as well as my degree. And my brother is on the way na po, hapunta dito. He is a seminarian, so hopefully the first priest in the family, a future priest in the family. So our advocacy is called Bahay Lakoy. So Bahay Lakoy means the typical house for minority people on Oriental Mindoro, or the Mangyan. So they are the Mangyans. In Mindoro, we have 9 tribes. So specifically, Bahay Lakoy is a bahay pangarap for the students. So ang advocacy po namin, tumutulong po kami sa mga estudyanteng Mangyan from our municipality. So kagaya po ng advocacy ng Mati family. So if the children in their place have to walk for almost 3 hours, so these students have to walk for almost 5 hours para po makapasok sa school. So the problem is their house is very far away from the school. It's almost 20 kilometers away from the school. So what my family did is that nagpatayo po kami ng isang bahay, just a small house for them para matuluyan nila. So it was built near our backyard. Katabi lang po ng bahay namin in our compound. And it started po kasi because my father was once the dropout committee chairman in their high school, public high school in Mindoro. So, napag-alaman po niya na most students are dropping out from school dahil po malayo yung bahay, lalo na kapag rainy season. So, never sila nakakapasok because of the distance. So, we believe that distance is never an issue pagdating sa education. So, what we did was to build a house for them. So, it started last 2008, so 10 years na po yung advocacy namin ngayon 2017, almost 10 years na po siya. So, it started from 3 students, naging 10, naging 20, and last pasukan po na June, 51 students po sila. So, it's just a small house. So, 51 students, that house cannot cater 51 students. So, what my father did is he spearheaded the construction of an extension school sa kabundukan po ng Oriental Mindoro. So, sa kabundukan po na yun, nagpatayo rin po kami ng another 2 bahay pangarap for these students para maging mas malapit sa kanila. So, hindi po tatapos yung advocacy namin doon na magpatayo ng bahay for them because as a family of educators, nagpakandak po kami tutorial sessions for them. So, my brother, who is inclined in computers, teaches these kids computer, so computer literacy. And for the parents po of these children, of these Mangyan children, nagkakandak po ang aking parents ng counseling, family counseling, since sa parish po namin in Victoria, they are pre-K na facilitators in our province. So, that is our advocacy po, and my family believes na libreng mangarap. That's why our family, hanggat maaari, hanggat kaya po namin, tinutulungan po namin silang mangarap. And this Bahay Lakoy, this Bahay Pangarap, it is not just a house kung saan nag-aaral sila, kung saan tumutuloy sila para hindi maging malayo yung distance na mapasukin nila, but it is a home for them wherein love is being shared and dreams are being realized. So kami po ang Macalintal family ng Oriental Mindoro. Thank you po.
Next, from Rizal, we have the Malyari family.
Good evening. Gumaya na rin ako. Okay, my name is RC Malyari and I'm the head of our family. This is a very humbling experience actually, standing before you. Sobrang accomplished and kami nagsisimula pa lang. Kanina nga, there was a talk about parenting. And we were really listening because for us, it's a fresh, talk about parenting and how to... It's true that there's really no manual on how to raise a child, how to raise our family. And being in front of me is already a humbling experience for both of us. My wife, Hazel Malyari, yan. My grade school pa lang kami. Tinadhana na kami ng Panginoon. And our kids, Joshua Paul Malyari, who is inspired by his Kuya Rom, because he also wants to go to Harvard University. And also my youngest, David Andrew, who is coming after. Well, our advocacy is called Sinidaralan, and we are helping not just poor kids, but also the low-performing kids. Those kids who are really flunking, and those at the bottom of the pyramid in terms of their academic performance. It started because after I graduated from university, I decided to live in the garbage dump site in Payatas. It was really a crazy dream. After studying and dreaming to be a change maker, I ended up being a scavenger. And I became a scavenger for 3 years. At first, I just want to help the family in the community from being a scavenger. I want to lift them from poverty because I was very idealistic at that time. And then one day, I asked one boy, he's a 15-year-old boy, a third-year high school student, to read one of the books that I had. And I was so shocked because he had difficulty in reading. He was 15 years old, a third-year high school student. And I was shocked because how come that a third-year high school student is in that level, pero hindi marunong magbasa? And so I researched, I asked the principal what happened, and then the principal told me, RC, because you're not, you don't know the system in the public school. First, they just want diploma. Let them, graduate from high school, and because that's their dream to have a diploma. Second is, at that time, there were 70 to 100 students in a 30 square meter classroom, fully jam-packed. Sabi niya, the numbers of students are growing, but not our teachers and not our classrooms. So what will happen to us next year? So better na pag-graduate namin sila so that hindi kami problema, and then let the university solve that problem. And then third, sabi ng principal, part of the grading systems, RC, baka hindi mo alam, you don't know that the part of the grading systems of teachers, how many students you pass and how many students you fail. So if you want to be promoted, if you want to get bonus every December, then you need to have 100%. They know it. You need to have 100% in terms of moving up your students. So I was really shocked. And I was wondering how come that this is happening and what will happen the next years to come. And then, so I told this to my friend and they helped me. I was renting a place, a 500 peso, a small place. It was all hierro, all steel walls, steel everything. And we were teaching the kids, and my role is to get sponsors, and then I got one. I got 2 million pesos to revolve the fund and to help the kids in Payatas. And then this one that moved me, her name is Roma. She's a 16-year-old girl, 4th-year high school student. I asked her because I got money for them to be in college. So I asked her, Roma, what's your dream? Because part of the profile form is to ask for their dreams. And she looked at my eyes. Until now, I can still, vividly imagine and still happening right now. I asked her, what's her dream? She looked at me and said, Kuya, siyempre Tagalog, I want to be a housemate. Gusto ko maging katulong. And then, nabigla ako, tumingin ulit ako sa kanya, sabi ko, Roma, what's your dream? Sabi ko, Kuya, gusto ko maging katulong. Sabi ko, Roma, I have no negative feeling about, being a katulong, a housemate, because we also have, and we love her. Her work is dignified, and she's supporting us. But I'm just shocked that you're 16 years old. If I will go to our house and ask our housemate, Ate, when you were 16 years old, was being a housemate your dream? Of course not. And I asked her why being a housemate. And then 3 things she told me that I will never forget until the end of my life. One is that she told me, Kuya, if I will be a housemate, I will no longer sleep on a cardboard, because that's their bed, a cardboard. They put it on the soil, their floor, and then they sleep there every night. Sabi niya, if there's a rain, we cannot lie down because yung lupa basa. So we ended up sleeping sitting. And if I will be a housemaid, I will now sleep on a sofa. And if I will be with a rich employer, I might have my own bedroom and have my own bed. Second, she told me, if I will be a housemaid, I will no longer eat a scrap food from the garbage, because at that time, even though I was there, we were really competing with dogs, with cats, with animals, just to live day by day in Payatas. And she told me, Kuya, if I will be a housemaid, I will no longer eat a scrap food, but I will now eat a leftover food from my employer. And basically that's clean. And third, she told me, if I will be a housemaid, I can now sleep even though there's a typhoon. Because we cannot sleep because we have to literally hold on to our walls, because anytime it will be blown by the wind. And if I will be a housemaid, I can now sleep tight because I know that our employer's house is concrete and sturdy. That moved me, that crushed my heart, and that's the climatic part of my life, and that's a turnaround and shifting of my mindset from being an economist, a developer, to an educator. And since day on, we helped them, and then we sent them to college, 19 of them, and 6 graduated after 3 years. So after 3 years, I left Payatas and went back, and then that was in 2005. In 2006, they called me, it's her graduation. Roma, who used to dream to be a housemaid, called me and she said, Kuya, it's our graduation, come and celebrate with us. We went there in her graduation, and she's one of the top students in that college. And from that day on, her life and her family's life was changed. Actually, in 2010, when we met, I asked her again, Roma, what happened after 2007? After 2007 and 2005, she told me, Kuya, I was able to send my brother to school. She's now a policeman. My younger sister, she's now a public school teacher. And my youngest brother is now a computer technician. And I have my own family. We are not anymore in Payatas. We went back to Visayas in Leyte and built our own home. And now I have my own business and have my own family. And that moved me, and really it's an affirmation coming from the Lord that I'm on the right track. And since then, now 10 years, we're now not just in one barangay, but we're all throughout the Philippines. We're helping children like Roma, who's considered low-performing student, but we believe that's our advocacy, that in every underachieving child lies a genius. And until our last breath, we will fight for this, and this is our advocacy for life. Maraming salamat.
And finally, to complete our set of winners for the 7th GFBA, here's our OFW Family of the Year. The Castro family, all the way from San Jose, California.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening. That's the best I can do right now. English. But thank you, Jollibee, for doing this event. It's pretty surreal, I'd say. First off, my name is Jay Castro. My dad really started the idea of the foundation. I'm here talking right now because they only gave us 3 minutes to talk, and my dad would take it a lot longer than 3 minutes. The advocacy, it's interesting how it came about because, I was born in the States. My dad came over in 1961-ish time. We were blessed. My dad had a good job with the military, was able to provide for my mom and me, take me through school, finish college, although it took me 11 years to get a BS degree, but I finished. It's a good thing. But I do know how to party, so I learned that in college too. But the biggest thing overall to my dad was, when he was talking to me about this, and my mom, who passed away, she would always come to me and say, when my dad started this in 2007, 2008, she would say, you got to talk to your dad. When we first did it, it was essentially a container full of books, clothes, papers, pencils, things like that to send back to Paniki Tarlac, where my dad was from. And my mom would say, what is he doing? He's spending thousands and thousands of dollars to send this container full of supplies back over to the Philippines. And my dad basically kind of explained it this way, that God blessed me, God blessed my family. I'm here in the States, everything is great, people around us have things, but what about the kababayan? What about all my townmates back home? Their kids can't have things that I gave to you, son, growing up. So, sorry, I'm a little shaky because it's really touching, because it just, coming back, 2008, the foundation got started in 2010, and it's been going on for a while now. And just to see how many lives that we've touched by, the simple thing of something in the United States that is taken for granted, and it's just incredibly disturbing that these textbooks that the school system has, brand new expensive textbooks that run anywhere from $40 US to even $100, that every time a new edition would come out, these books were just tossed away, thrown away, recycled, didn't go anywhere. My dad made a connection with the school districts. Instead of, hey, instead of throwing these books away, give us the books. We'll do something with it. And they're looking at my dad like, what are you gonna do with all these books? He said, don't worry about it, just give me the books. And I remember the first time that we got the books from the district, my dad calls me up and says, hey, I need your help to get these books into a container. And in my head, I'm thinking, whatever, a stack of boxes of books, whatever, I'll help you for an hour. It was about a day's worth of work with about 6 of us, loading all the boxes of books that all the different school districts dropped off at a parking lot, and my dad had a container. By the end of the day, the container was completely full. We couldn't even stick one more single book into a 40-foot container. Wow. That whole container went to the Philippines. and to see how, nowadays everybody is, technology, hey, I have a computer, I'm going to use an iPad to read, things like that. Or I'll watch the video and I'll learn about it. I'll watch a YouTube video and I'll learn how to do something. Great, but reading really creates and develops the mind. And that's what could be missing if these kids don't have these books. And what more so is the kids who don't even have access to the internet, to any kind of technology, what about them? Now we have an opportunity to continue for the past, since 2007, continue getting these books that another society deems useless, no worth, to some child that's just sitting there hoping they had a little bit more to become a better person. So Chef Foundation, Children's Health Education Fund Foundation is what was started a long time ago and still continues. And we're blessed, but it is a struggle because I would say 80% of the money that goes towards the shipping is out of my family's pocket. And at the table, it was talked about, hey, how do you sustain? An example is we sent a couple containers one time. It got stuck at customs. Our customs here, and it unfortunately got held, and then it went into an auction, and my dad took a mortgage out on the house. It cost us $18,000 US to take the 2 containers out of auction, basically buy it back. But because the net worth of what was in those containers was way more than $18,000. Way more. So my dad again does it. It's just amazing. It's just, he tells me again and again how he's proud of me. I didn't go to jail. I'm not selling drugs. But really, he is truly my hero. It's just amazing when I just look back, even doing the pictures, putting them together for this event. It was just amazing on how many lives and how many children benefited from just the simple act of taking someone else's garbage and giving it to somebody who deems it really a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you to our second batch of JFBA winners. To keep our spirits up and inspire us with her lovely voice, we have one of the country's most beloved young talents here tonight. Half of one of this year's hottest love teams by Ylona, one of our brand endorsers. Put your hands together for Ylona Garcia.
So for today, I'm going to sing a song called Who Says by Selena Gomez. I hope you guys enjoy. You made me insecure, told me I wasn't good enough, but who are you to judge? When you're a diamond in the rough, I'm sure you got some things you'd like to change about yourself, but when it comes to me, I'm no beauty queen, I'm just beautiful me. And you've got every right to a beautiful life. Come on, who says you're not perfect? Who says you're not worth it? Who says you're the only one that's hurting? Trust me, that's the price of beauty. Who says you're not pretty? Who says you're not beautiful? Who says? It's such a funny thing how nothing's funny when it's you. You tell me what you need, but you can't wipe out the truth. It's like going a vibe that never gets to see the light. You'll be the stars. I'm no beauty queen, I'm just beautiful me. You've got every right to a beautiful life. Come on, who says you're not perfect? Who says you're not worth it? Who says you're the only one that's hurting? Trust me, that's the price of beauty. Who says you're not pretty? Who says you're not beautiful? Who says? Thank you for it. Well, first of all, I hope you guys are really enjoying this night. Are you guys enjoying so far? Well, that's great, because right now I am just so thankful to be a part of this celebration tonight, the Jollibee Family Values Awards. It's just amazing, and I'm also very thankful to be a part of the Jollibee family. I've been a part of the Jollibee family for over a year now, and I hope more to come. And I think the one thing that Jollibee has really taught me that has stayed with me for a really long time is the family values as well, and the Filipino values especially. So that's great. And wow, just seeing all these beautiful families, it just really makes me want to tear up because my family's all the way in Australia, but it's really nice how family is it's just a really strong word. Wow. Okay. So on to the next song, which is requested from Jollibee. This is Tadhana. If you guys know it, please sing along. You ready? Okay. Oh wow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Sa hindi inaasahan, tatapon ng mga mundo. May minsan lang na nagdugtong, damang-dama na ang ugong nito. May sapat pa ba ang sakit at lahat? I just thought I'd mention.
Selfie. Doon man na diri. Tanga. Ready na. Dari ka kapunta ng anak. Parang picturean na mo.
Ang galing nyo ah. Pwede kayo maging singer kaya? Thank you po.
Thank you. Do you have a few words for the families?
Oh, congratulations! Oh, and have a great night. Enjoy, enjoy, and stay strong as a family. Give out family value.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. All right. Now, may I request the families to please remain in your seats as Sir JJ and Sir Francis will join you at your tables to present a humble token of our appreciation and for a photo opportunity. Please go.
Selfie também. May citation, selfie.